Hello everybody, welcome back to the ASUS YouTube page. This is JJ once again, and we're bringing you some more information regarding our new flagship wireless routing product, the N66U. So as you can see right here, we actually have our 66U. It's gone ahead and been connected to the power strip and then powered on, and we're going to be going through a quick kind of setup process here in this video, detailing not only the physical way to set up the product, but how you can actually go ahead and complete setup and configuration relative to either a hardline connection directly from the N66U to, let's say, a notebook or a desktop, or actually go ahead and complete it wirelessly actually from any device. So let's first go ahead and actually jump into the unit itself and take a look at what are some of the physical connections that we have to consider when setting this unit up. We have our WAN port, okay, and right here, and then we have our LAN port. Okay, so we actually have an RJ45 cable that's coming out from our wall. This would actually be our internet service provider's connection. So that's what we would want to go ahead and plug into the actual WAN port. Okay, and if you were considering a hardline connection, then we're going to go ahead and use the included cable that came inside the box and go ahead and connect that to LAN port 1. And additionally, of course, if you had other systems at this time, you could go ahead and attach additional LAN cables for those systems. Or if you had a switch and you wanted to go ahead and have more ports being powered by this router, you could go ahead and connect this one, and on the other end, connect your switch, and then from there have that 8-port, 12-port, 24-port switch go ahead and give you additional LAN ports for more connectivity. Okay, so pretty straightforward in that regard. Now, one other consideration that you do have to do when you're setting up a wireless router is going to be factoring in positioning. Now, as you can see for our unit here, by default, we have it kind of seated in a flat position. Okay, you do want to consider that in some situations, the actual horizontal as well as the vertical height that you might have in play can affect your wireless signal. So you might potentially, once you have everything set up, actually maybe try to move the router, generally in most situations, up. But in some situations actually could be lower, and this could actually improve your signal range and overall connectivity. Now, we have included an actual option with the unit to be not only wall mounted, but also actually have a stand. And in our testing, we've actually had situations where with the included stand, we can get better performance. So this is going to be pretty straightforward. We're going to go ahead and disconnect this first. And you attach the stand, see, it's got your connections right there. Go ahead and loop it there to the back. And then from there, you can rest the unit as so. And in this situation, you're going to want to change the antennas. The actual top of your antenna generally doesn't have the actual point of reception. It's more actually at these points, the base. So what we're going to want to do now is raise this up as so. And generally, our recommendation is go out in such configuration as so. So this would be another option, and then you would still proceed to have all your normal connections as you would normally have them set up. So keep that in mind that when you are setting up the unit, you're going to have the options, as we noted, flat or in a more vertical situation, and also consider positioning. Okay, so we've gone ahead and moved over here to our physical notebook. So here we have our G53S. We've gone ahead and already made the physical connections, as we initially noted, for our N66U with our internet service provider connected to the WAN port, and then we've gone ahead and completed the included RJ45 cable to LAN port 1. So on any standard notebook or desktop, you're going to have an RJ45 connection, a network port or Ethernet port on the unit. So as we can see, that's actually this port right here. And we're going to go ahead and actually just make a connection directly to this port. And you want to give the operating system a moment to go ahead and detect this. And in most situations, you'll see that there's going to be a small networking icon that will populate here. As you can see, it says no internet access. That means that it has not acquired the IP or the internet address that's being supplied from our internet service provider and being processed here and then passed over. So at this point, all we're going to need to go ahead and do to complete the rest of the setup process is open up our browser. No software is required. This is an entire CD-free step. We have a technology built in that's called HTTPS takeover. So that means that when we open up our web browser is going to automatically launch with the setup configuration option. So you can see right here, you then just have to go through those steps and be good to go. Now, if you're in a situation where you're potentially using, let's say, a smartphone or a tablet, such as, let's say, like our Transformer or Transformer Prime, anything like that. You can actually complete the software even though you don't actually have a network port on the unit, and it's actually running a different operating system. It's actually running the Android OS. But we're still going to be able to show you what that process would look like. So instead of utilizing the network cable, I'm going to go ahead and remove that. We have wireless built into this notebook, and it's already been turned on. So all we're going to need to do is go down to our wireless network manager, which we can see right here. Or in the Android operating system, this would be under your wireless settings and then your wireless networks. So you would click on that, and you're going to look for the SSID that says ASUS. At that point, you're going to connect to this SSID. Normally, you would have to enter in a password or passkey. For this, because we're actually starting the setup process, it's not required. So we can see now that it's gone ahead and made that connection. And if we go ahead and give it a moment here and then open up our browser, you can see it takes us once again to the N66U setup page. So from here, we're going to actually go through the steps that it's going to be required to finalize and actually set up the actual network configuration, as well as some tips on actually how to best protect your SSID with a secure password.